it basically says there's a circus, all sounds great, but the members are kind of, you know, a bit bit useless. Hello everyone, it's Lily, and today I will be talking about Radiant Tale, an Otome game that has been planned for release sometime in May this year in Japan. So it is an unlocalized title, but I thought, you know, it would be fun to go through it together, the website and all the characters and such. Remember, I do have a Discord and a link is below if you'd like to join it and talk about this game with other Otome maniacs such as myself. And just like in Tengoku, I have hidden this secret somewhere in this video. If you manage to find it and you're the first one to comment the timestamp below, I will pin that comment and you will basically get to flaunt the glory of managing to find this incredibly difficult secret. But anyway, enough of that, let me start. Now this is the website. I know I said this in the last video, but oh my gosh, I love the design of these characters. Like, oh, look how pretty the main characters and a little puffball. Anyway, let's start going through. So firstly, let me go to the story. So, it says, the fantastic trouble journey that the girl who wants to be normal and the guys that are completely not normal experience. And so it says, the customers that arrived at Revel, a shop that Tefalia works in, was the entertainment group that's officially, I guess, made by the country or the king, of course called Circus, very unoriginal. I mean, really, why would you call it circus? If you called a circus circus in England or anywhere that I guess speaks English, it's kind of like, what? But anyway, I'll let that slide. But yeah, the customers that arrived at the shop that Tefalia works in was this entertainment group called Circus, and yeah, they're under the country, like officially made. However, their first performance was a horrific one. Like, the result was a bit, yeah, dodgy. And so she's listening to the story of these members who, you know, are feeling a bit down about it. And so, yeah, she's listening to make them feel better when suddenly the leader says, what Circus doesn't have right now and requires is someone really ordinary like you. Which, I mean, I don't know whether I take that as a compliment or not. On one hand, I'm like, I'm glad you want me, but on the other hand, you called me really ordinary, and I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. But anyway. And so he requests that Tefalia joins this circus group as an assistant and a producer. And of course she worries about it overnight and thinks really hard about whether to go on this journey, because they are going to be traveling while they, you know, do put on their shows. But with the help, I suppose, with the family, you know, they talk to her a little bit too, she chooses to, of course, join this group. And so, you know, there's a dragon that can make anyone laugh. There's a clown that doesn't want to make anyone laugh. A water enchanting conductor who doesn't want to use magic. An acrobat performer that doesn't really understand entertainment. A puffball that drinks too much alcohol, a leader that doesn't really care enough or has no motivation, and this new amateur producer. Will they really be able to help blossom this sort of flower that, you know, blooms only with happiness? Is it going to be possible? And then it says, the girl Tefalia who really wants an ordinary life, and the circus members who are incredibly far from what would be considered ordinary go on a journey that's full of trouble. And I guess it's going to be very much a, yeah, the main character and the love interest in this circus, and as they travel around the world or the country or whatever it is, they'll encounter all sorts of problems, I expect. So that is the story. Okay, so this is like the world of it. Escotia. So it's a place where humans, I didn't realize this when I was looking through it, but humans, mystical beasts, and fairies live together. And it's, I guess, a world that's quite peaceful. Yeah, very peaceful. Even humans who can't see fairies or can't use magic are able to use like magical tools in order to like make the place, I guess, kind of work out for them. This is Kingdom Artail. So I guess Esculture is the name of the country, and then Artail is the kingdom. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correct in English because there's only Japanese here, but so Artail is found in the middle of the mainland. It's kind of where the kings and queens live, I guess, the nobles, and it's a great place for sort of trade and things between all the different kingdoms, or different areas, and so all sorts of different people accumulate to this location. And however, there is this king Prince even Koribusu, who ended up freezing his heart, and therefore looks wise he's permanently 7 years old so far. And so I guess that in order to fix this, they're trying to make this flower to bloom, and I think that requires like happiness. Oh, there's 2 flowers, Chloris and Flora. There we go. This is the info we needed. Sorry, this part I'm seeing for the first time. The other bits I sort of scanned in advance, but yeah, I'll probably be stumbling a little bit. So we've got 2 flowers, Chloris and Flora. Let me quickly check. Okay, so Chloris is a magical flower that blossoms as a result of a happy emotion. And it even has like an effect to perhaps melt this prince's heart back to how it should be. So I guess people have been bringing this flower. Now Flora is a flower, again a magical flower, and it's one that's been it's like a Chloris flower that's been enhanced, that should increase the, I guess, effectiveness of melting the prince's heart. So yeah, it has like the effect like 10 times, maybe more effect of Chloris. And however, in order for it to bloom, a lot of happiness needs to exist. So I guess the story is basically about trying to make this special flower bloom to save the kingdom, because yeah, Level is a little town, I guess. Okay, so there's a main street in Artail, but this Liberu isn't the main street, but is like the back street. And this is where Splia, which is like the main character's aunt, has her bread and breakfast. And it's also where Tefali and Laddie work together and go home at the end of the day. And apparently this bed and breakfast is popular for having a very like homey feel. And so it's one of those like hidden spots where people actually like it, even though it's not like shown everywhere. And yeah, so the story starts by the circus members ending up going to this store or bed and breakfast. I keep on saying bread and breakfast, I don't know why, but it's that sort of place. You got Circus and, ooh, what's this? So Circus is, of course, this group that was formed in order to try and make this flower Flora bloom, and Genia is the leader. And there are like other performers that exist, but this is the one where the, I guess the kingdom or the country put all their money in to try and like make a brilliant circus that will bring as much joy as possible to make Flora bloom. Now this demon thing. Okay. So these beings appear as a result of an emotion of loss or emotion of like negative emotions basically. And they occur in the depth of the forest and not so much in the city, but they do have this attack sort of like they have a very offensive nature. They really want to attack things, so they're quite aggressive and are prone to attacking, I guess, living things, and so everyone's really scared of them. So that's interesting. I thought it was just going to be like a really happy, super comedic story, but I guess this demon thing exists as well everywhere, in the forests at least, and people are worried about them. Now I'm wondering if this links to this, like if you make Flora bloom, then perhaps these demons disappear because the world ends up overflowing with happiness. I don't know. I still think it's more of a comedy title than something with angst or emotions. I'm getting very much Variable Barricade feelings from this. Now let's go to the character. So you firstly have Tifalia, which is the assistant girl / producer and main character. I just can't help but think, oh, she's so pretty. Look at her. I actually today tried to put my hair in twin tails and it didn't really work. So, I mean, I am, what, 27, I think? Yeah, I'm 27, so, you know, wearing twin tails isn't really my style at this age. But I tried because I was like, I want to go back to my youth. But it didn't quite work, so I decided to, yeah, take it down and make an ugly plait instead. But, yeah, she's a townsgirl that works in Rebel, the small shop in the main city or main town. She has this strong sense of justice and is a very sensible girl, but can be stubborn sometimes. She's feeling very satisfied with her peaceful and ordinary life, but one day, due to circus, a group of very strange and unique people, she ends up joining as a producer and ends up being taken, like dragged into this crazy lifestyle. And although she's a little bit hesitant, a little bit, you know, surprised and shocked by all these unique and extraordinary members, in order to make this show, all these shows a success, she, you know, struggles and, you know, puts all her effort in and works really hard. So here it has basically what race they are, or, you know, what, I don't know how to put it, but what type, so, you know, humans, dragon, beast, like that sort of thing. But she's human and her age is 16. So it says wish here. Now I can't help but wonder, does one of your wishes come true if this Flora flower blooms? Because every single character has a wish and what that person wishes for. And so I don't know whether it's involved in the story. But yeah, so that her wish is for, well, her wish is that she hasn't got a wish yet, but she's gonna find one by the end of this traveling trip she's on. So yeah, I guess she doesn't have a wish right now. I thought her wish was gonna be, I want my normal life back. And here you get to see her. Oh. Huh? It says if you change it, you can change it to... Oh, there we go. So this is how she looks normally. And it says, there's no way I can do such a special job. But I guess she is. So, but yeah, she definitely looks a lot more ordinary like this. Like, I definitely prefer her circus outfit. Like, she looks like a magical girl there. Next up is, I think, Vilio. Yeah. Vilio, the dragon that you can go and see. He's always, you know, doing his best and making everyone very happy and cheery. Yeah, he's a dragon boy. He came from a little island that was isolated from the mainland, so he doesn't really have much like common sense. He does silly things, and sometimes he says outrageous things or things that people don't expect, which makes people a little bit like confused, like, whoa, taken aback, you know. And he's a very rare mystical beast, so a dragon, and therefore his circus is like main thing. Like, I guess when someone says circus, you're thinking, oh, that's where you get to see the dragon, right? However, because he gets a bit too excited and goes a bit overboard, and I guess that can cause problems. And I think perhaps that people are expecting, this is my guess by the way, I don't know if this is the case, but I'm thinking maybe people think dragon, oh, it's gonna be scary, and then they come and see this I say this, they come and see this guy and he's like really happy and makes everyone laugh and stuff, and they're like, wait, what? I could be wrong though. Now he's a mystical beast, that's his race. He is 17, but then it says in brackets like his looks, so who knows, he could be like 1,000-year-old grandpa. We'll never know. And his wish is that he wants to see the world with his own 2 eyes. So that's like his wish, which is gonna come true if you go on this little, I guess, circus crazy long journey. And that's what he looks like he's wearing like a sports like parka or something. That's funny. He is really cute though. I like how his eyes are very dragony. It's very good, but I do prefer the circus outfits have so far, for the 2 characters I've seen, been like, I prefer them more. Yeah. And it says, I'm Vilio, nice to meet you. As you can see, I'm a mystical beast, and my race is, be surprised, a dragon. Now this is the one that I find the most funny actually. Zephora. He's a cynical clown. He's got a calm demeanor and is knowledgeable. He's he works as an information shop. I guess this is a type of shop you go and then you pay money to gain certain bits of information. And apparently there's something that he really, really wants to get his hands on. And as a result of him trying to look for this, he asked Genia whether he'd be allowed to join circus, and so he became a clown, which is kind of funny because a tomboy that doesn't really he isn't really that into making people laugh, so I don't know how it works. No wonder the first show was a bit of a disaster. But apparently when he's working as an information shop guy, he has like an amiable demeanor, but normally he's a little bit, you know, a bit not twisted, but like a little bit, I guess, very tsun, and as he sort of like says mean statements or a little bit harsh statements, which causes a distance between him and the other members and other people, and he prefers doing things alone and dislikes sort of unnecessary friendliness. And he is a human, he is 19, and his wish is to get his hands on this particular magical tool. So it is very fantastical. Yeah, I don't know, I'm really excited because I really like the visuals of this. It's so sparkly, and it says, I'm not expecting much from you at all, just please don't drag me down and just go and look after the brainless brainless lizard over there. I guess he's referring to Vilio, but oh gosh, he is so a tomboy. Bless him. Oh yeah, he looks a little bit happy there. I guess this must be him when he's working as the information boy. The contrast. Sorry, he just looks so happy there compared to that. I wonder how he's gonna work the circus guy like a clown. Now next up is Pashalia, which is the Enchanting Conductor. So he has this vibe of being a little bit worrying, like he'll do things and you're like, no, don't do that, oh, you're gonna hurt yourself, like that sort of thing. But he has this like very soft and nice, kind atmosphere, and it's very obvious from his, you know, beautiful and rare sort of looks that he has formed a contract with a water fairy, but he himself does not remember anything about this contract at all. And Genie actually invited him to join circus based on his beautiful looks and the ability to use water magic. But he's not too fond of using magic and doesn't really therefore want to use it, which kind of obviously defeats the point of Genia inviting him to the circus. So, and yeah, it says human here, and in brackets, formed a contract with a fairy. His age is 20, and his wish is to find someone who's able to use water magic, which is interesting. Now let's see what his normal clothes look like. Aww. Okay, for him, I think I prefer the normal clothes. He does look really pretty though. He gives off sort of vibes of maybe Shion from Variable Barricade, like the blonde guy. He just gives off that kind of, in Japan we say yuruhua, which is like this sort of soft kind of, kind of fluffy sort of feel, very calm, cute. And it says, if you're there, I feel like we'll be able to make a lovely show. So that's Pashalia. Now this is Eon, yeah. The acrobatic fighting performer. It's very obvious that, like, from his facial expression, I'm pretty sure he's a kudere guy. But he was previously in like the security protective army type thing, and he's in charge of performing like acrobatic fighting techniques and stuff. And it says, although he's good at cooking and is very kind and gives off a very warm demeanor, due to his scary looks and difficulty in choosing the right words, people often misunderstand him for being scary. So he seems like a nice, gentle guy that doesn't really talk much. And as a result of that, I guess people think he's scary. That's really sweet though. I am kind of looking forward to him. I love that. I do find it cute when there's that gap between someone everyone's a bit scared of, but they actually turn out to be really cute. Like, I love that. But unfortunately, I can't imagine seeing any jealousy scenes. So one thing I like about kuderes is that moment when, like, they don't realize that they like the main character. But then they see the main character, like, kind of just having a conversation. It looks like they're flirting with, you know, another love interest or something. And then the kudere character doesn't understand why it's bothering him. And then, like, you know, seeing that, like, conflict in a kudere character, I absolutely adore that. But I don't feel like you'll get this from Eon because he's more of the gentle giant type kudere, if you know what I mean. So it's a little bit sad in that sense. But who knows? Who knows? I could be wrong. Now, it also says that he wasn't actually fond of the idea for someone that's like an ordinary townsgirl like Tifalia to join, because often, you know, traveling and journeys can be dangerous, and especially with, I guess, those demons, you know, it's... But I guess she's stubborn and decides to go regardless of what he says. But I can understand his point. And he's human, 22. Wish, he says, I don't have one, and in brackets, he just joined because he was told to. So I guess he hasn't got like the motivation or reason to do, like, you know, I think he's just doing it as a duty more so than because he wants to. And I guess that may show to the audience, again contributing to why the performance was a disaster, and bless them. But I guess Tifalia is going to help that. And here it says, I'm sorry I made you scared or I frightened you. I apologize. And yeah, I guess his normal clothes are... Ooh, I think I prefer him in this one in normal clothes as well. That's interesting because the first couple I preferred when they were in their circus outfit, and then this guy I'm like, oh, cute. And then like this guy and the one before that, yeah, I think I prefer the... I'm not so sure about Tsunboy though. And the next one is the one I'm most curious about. It's Daddy. Oh, I don't know. So we'll get to see him as a human form in a moment. But I love puffballs that turn into humans. I think it's just kind of cute. But it says he can sort of be slapdash and smell a little bit of alcohol. But in moments where it's like, oh no, she's in a pinch, he always comes to the rescue. And so... he is a partner that Tifalia really relies on and is able to trust, so he's like a family member. And when Tifalia decides to join the circus, he decides to come with her. So I guess he's not a character that's part of the circus already. He actually lives with Tifalia and then decides to follow her into the circus, which I think is going to be a sweet relationship between the two. As I said, I could be wrong, but that's the feeling I get from what it says on here. when he speaks, he isn't very cute, but he is very popular amongst kids, so he works as like, you know, one of those popular mascots. In order to prevent Tifalia from getting a little bit confused, he's said that he isn't able to go back to his human form for 10 years. But yeah, so he's just been in this beast form for 10 years, I guess. But during the travels, the truth comes out, and I guess she finds out about who he is and his identity and stuff. And it says race mystical beast. He's 21, in brackets, that's what he looks like, I guess. So we don't know his actual age. And his wishes, I don't really have anything, in brackets, I'll think about it now. So yeah, he seems very casual, and I think I find him the most interesting. Let's look at him in human form, because I haven't seen him yet. Oh, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I think out of all the characters, I'm most curious about him. Like, oh my god, he is so my type. Oh my god, and he's an Ore-sama character. It says, seriously, from back then, you've always needed me. And he's reversed to himself as Ore-sama. Oh my god, I hope he's an Ore-sama character. I'm so hyped. And can I just say, I realized that what he says changes when you click like that. And here it says, I'm ready. As you can see, I'm a lovely and cute mystical beast. Oh, he looks so cute. I am so looking forward to him. And now we've got Genia, who is the leader of the circus. He's a free soul that likes fashion and being extravagant, and as an order by the king, he ends up being responsible of circus in order to find flora and make it bloom. However, he doesn't look like he has any motivation or, you know, willingness to do anything, and so everyone's a bit like, ugh, you know, losing a little bit of trust with him. But occasionally he does show his, you know, true talents and becomes a, you know, reliable person. But then when you think that, next moment he immediately goes back to the I really couldn't care less mode, I suppose. But he's human, he's 26, and his wish is to make flora bloom. So, you know, I guess it's what you would expect. And let's see what he looks like in his normal clothes. He's very pretty. Oh, wait. Yeah, there we go. I was going to say, oh, and I was like, wait, it hasn't changed, has it? Oh, pretty pearls. I know what he means by extravagant there. He is really pretty, though. So on my Twitter, I saw some people complaining that he's not a love interest, which I haven't seen anyone. Nowhere says, like, one is a love interest and one's not. I personally think he is love interest. His face is on the cover too much, and also they made a big deal of all the other love interests and the main character, so it seems a bit odd to include him but then not these, if you know what I mean, in the teaser movies. So I think he may be a locked character. That's the feeling I get. That's me crossing my fingers in hopes that he is locked character so that I can complete him, because oh, look at him, he's so pretty. But here it says, so basically what I as an elegant person lack is someone that's incredibly ordinary like you. As I said, I don't know if that's something you want to take as a compliment or not, but yeah, that is Genia. And the next three are more like side characters, I guess. So you've got Koribusu, or Koribus, I don't know how to pronounce it in English, but Koribusu in English, I mean Japanese. And he is the Prince of Artale and the only heir. He's supposed to be 17, but due to magic that he put onto himself, now I don't know whether that's an accident or whether he did it on purpose, but as a result of it, his heart's frozen, and as a result, his kind of growth has stopped at 7 years old. Now, I don't know, it could be that he experienced overwhelming emotions or something, and then that as a result, his heart's like frozen. I really don't know, but I guess we'll find out. But yeah, his emotions are very lacking. Like he doesn't have heightened emotions or anything. It's very like dimmed down, and he looks almost like a doll. So I guess yeah, that's quite sad, really. I really want to know what happened, but it's good because adding a little bit of a sad element to these comedy games makes the comedy seem more funny. So I think that's kind of part of this. So though it sounds like there's this tragic stuff, and it is tragic, I feel like the primary focus is more on the comedy, but judging by all these, you know, hopeless circus members. Ah, dear me. And it says, I would like to be part of your group too, or part of your friendship group too. Yeah, bless him. And this is Spirea. She is, I almost said he, I don't know why, but she is Tifalia's aunt and has been looking after her as if she's Tifalia's mum in place of her, well, Tifalia's real parents who ended up dying, I guess, at some point when she was young. And she's the one that actually tells Tifalia, you know, just go for it, go and travel with these people, because, you know, you'll learn things that you won't learn here. And she's in charge, or she's the, you know, owner of this very homey bed and breakfast level that Artale kind of is sort of secretly popular in Artale. So yeah, this is basically Tifalia's mum, essentially. And it says, go and experience things that you wouldn't be able to if you were just here. And so yeah, she just pushes the back of Tifalia in going on this journey. And this is Lian, and I imagine quite a few people are sad that he's not a love interest because he is quite cute. But he's the owner of this large chain Cheers that you can find in like basically any city or town, and he keeps on constantly flirting with Tifalia, but it's hard to say how, you know, how serious he is about him liking her, basically. And it says, as always, you have a high guard, but it's I like that about you too. So I guess it's him flirting, but yeah, I don't know. This seems like a very add-on character. Like, you got the love interest, and then you got the prince who you're trying to save, and then you've got the aunt. And then why is he here? Like, I don't mean to be rude, but why are you here? Is he going to be the enemy or something? And I'm wondering why there's 6 blanks. Are there going to be more characters added on to here? I don't know. I guess we'll find out later down the lines, but yeah, I think, I don't know, I'm very curious. He looks a bit evil, is that just me? This is where he turns out to be the villain of the game. But anyway, so that is the website. Let me quickly go through the sort of story, not the story, but the worldwide bit again, because when I just translated now, it's very on the spot. So yeah, Escolcia is basically the country, which is formed of like 4 different places, and this town, like the center of the country. You've got Artale, which is the kingdom where the prince is, that's cursed. You've got Riva, which is the store that Tifalia works in, and as well as Luddy. You've got the 2 different flowers, Chloris and Flora. Chloris blooms as a result of happiness. Flora does too, but because I guess the effects are so high, you need to put more joy into it to have the effect of making the prince's heart melt and become, you know, good again. So I guess that's going to be kind of the focus of the story. You've got Circus, which is the entertainment group formed by the king to try and help his son. And then you've got these demons that occur in the forest as a result of negative emotions. I don't know if how they get, you know, defeated or how they're going to be involved. So, you know, you've got this kind of tragic side, but I think primarily it's going to be a very comedy game, because it says, you know, it basically says there's a circus, all sounds great, but the members are kind of, you know, a bit useless. So we need an ordinary girl's help to make them a bit more useful, a bit more effective. And that to me just gives off comedy vibes, and my Twitter friends who like comedy games are very interested in this game because I think it's a comedy. It'll be like Variable Barricade and maybe a bit of Wonder Fortune, you know, it'll be very up and happy, I think. So you'll probably get like a few bad endings here and there but it will be those bad endings where it's so abrupt, you're like, okay, and it doesn't really leave much of an impression. A bit like Variable Barricade, you get bad endings, but they're very like abrupt and like they're mini bad endings, so it doesn't really leave that much of an impression apart from, oh, that went downhill quickly, and then you move on to to continue the game. But yeah, I feel like that's what it's gonna be like. Let's go to top again just to oogle the beautiful art. It is Puffball though. Aww, he's so cute. But anyway, so I'm not going to play it. Oh, no, not sound. I'm not going to play it, but there is this, so I did do a little reaction video on the teaser movie. I thought about doing it with the opening movie, but I felt like there are some sort of CGs that some people may consider spoilerish, so I'm not going to do that. But if you're curious, check out the opening movie. I will put the link down in the description as well, so you can immediately click on it. And yeah, so that's the Radiant Tale website. Now, hopefully you enjoyed going through the website together with me. I think it was a fun journey, just like the characters in this game will be taking. I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of interested in that this story isn't based in like one location, but they're going to be traveling together, because at least the Otome games I have experienced, there is usually like a home like base that everyone kind of, all the story happens around, and it's not like, you know, they're traveling constantly. But I get the feeling that in this game that will be happening quite a lot, and a lot of the experiences and the things that happen between the main character and the love interest are going to be in like different locations, maybe I don't know. But I must say the character I'm personally looking forward to most is Reine. I just love the puffball. I think I just find the character cute. It's not even like I'm attracted to him or anything like that. I just think the puffball is so cute. Sorry, I'm terrible when it comes to cute cuddly things. It reminds me of my pet bird, and then I just can't. But anyway, hopefully you found this quite useful, and perhaps you may have even found the secret, so remember to comment that below if you did. As always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and hopefully I'll see you in another one of my videos. Bye!